was my. I was like, I feel like this is an important part of the audience that needs to hear this. But it was just the band. Okay. Oh, I'm actually gonna need the band like hardcore because like this is not like that lit of a story. So maybe just like a quiet drop. Oh. Some like gentle percussion. Not yet, but that's the music. So yeah, it was summer '62. It was summer. This was when did I have that job? After my freshman year of college, I'm from here. I came back here and got a job at Jamba Juice, like obviously. And they were like, yeah, you can just start. Like you don't need to. But I've had a lot of jobs. Jamba Juice is actually my number one least favorite job I've ever had. Loved the product, did not like working there at all. Like it was miserable, and they used to have 2 different types of shifts. It was either 4 hours or 8 hours. And so yeah, it's like all or nothing. So I was working a 4-hour shift. I was mentally prepared for a 4-hour saga. And like it was already like a really rough day because my hot manager wasn't there. So like if you ever worked in like the service industry, like there's one person you just have a crush on and like that person gets you through every shift. Like even if you're not even if nothing ever happens, you're like just knowing that you're here is like just making me feel okay right now. But, like, my hot manager was nowhere in sight. I was like, this is a watch. Like, why am I even working here? You know, like, but so I was almost at the end of my 4-hour shift, and earlier in the shift, my non-hot manager was like talking to me, and like I didn't know either of their names, but my non-hot manager like dared to ask me what I was doing later that day, and I was like really excited that I was only working a 4-hour shift, so I was like, I'm literally not doing anything, like I'm going home and just like fucking chilling, like I cannot wait. And then so I'm about to be done, and he's like, Colin called out, and I was like, all right, bye. He was like, yeah, you're gonna need to stay. And I was like, oh my god, I literally told him that I was doing nothing. And so I was like, oh my god, like it literally felt like the world was closing around me. Like he was like, okay, so you're working 8 hours and you have to take an hour break right now. And I was like, okay, like not only do I have to stay here like for the rest of the day, like I just have to take an hour where I'm not getting paid. Like I didn't bring a lunch. Like it was just like so stressful. So I was literally like in shock. Like I was like shell shocked. And I just like went to my car. This was in Sherman Oaks, in the valley, and it was the middle of summer, so it was like 100 degrees for sure. So I like went in my car, which was parked in the Ralph parking lot legally. And I went in my car and just like had, like I was like, wow, like I'm just like trying to like process what's happening right now. And like, I've never like smoked out of job. Like I don't like do shit like that. Like I smoke, but not like at work or school or whatever. But I was like, I have to smoke a bowl right now. Like I like literally in my wits end. So I had a bowl and I didn't have weed. So I was like, okay, and I was like, oh, like I smoke in my car all the time. So like I pushed back the seat of my Ford Explorer. I found like a pound of weed. And I actually just quit Jamba Juice and started selling. So I was like, oh, sick. So I like packed a bowl and sat in my car with the windows rolled up. Took like the biggest hit of my life. Like was higher than I've ever been. I was like, whatever. I have an hour. Somehow I looked at the clock and I had like 7 minutes left on my break, and I was like, oh my god. And I like stepped outside. Like it's different when you smoke during the day and it's hot. Like, it made me like 10 times higher. So now I'm like literally so lightheaded, so high. I like drag myself back into Jamba Juice, and I'm in the back room, and my manager was like, "How was your break?" I was like, "I can't." And he was like, "Oh, well, this is Tom and Rob. They're going to be working with us. They're from corporate. They're going to be working with us for the rest of the afternoon." I just started laughing. I was like, no. And so I went to the front, and like I started taking. It was me, Tom, and Rob from corporate. Those were the only people working. I'm so high, like I'm higher than I've ever been. You're like, why don't you take register? I was like, totally. So I like register, and like Jamba Juice has this thing where when someone orders, you have to repeat their order excitedly, or they used to do this. So someone's like, all in one strawberry wild, you're like, strawberry what? Like you call it to the people making, but I never did that because like that's not my vibe. So like, I never did that. I was just like, it's written on the thing, like it comes out on the receipt, like you just say it. But so I like forgot that that was something I had to do. So like someone ordered and I like didn't say anything and started taking the next person's order, and Rob's like, Chase? And I was like, Rob? Or Tom? And he's like, call out those orders, girl. And I was like, oh my god. So I was like, I was like, strawberry sweat. He was like, can't hear ya. I was like, you heard me. And I was like freaking out. And like literally they were having the time of their lives. Like they were like, these strawberries are fucking not fucking, but they were like, these strawberries are gorgeous. Chase, have you seen the blueberries? I was like, Tom and Rob, like, I'm so high, like your voices are like giving me anxiety. Like it was like, and then I just like came down and like somehow like continued my work thing for the rest of the summer and ended up hooking up with my hot manager. Yeah.